Let's talk about the third wheel that's probably in your relationship. You know the one. It's small, it glows, and let's be honest, it's probably within arm's reach of you right this second. Yep, we're talking about your phone.
You know the feeling, right? You're right in the middle of telling a great story and you just see their eyes drift down to that little screen. Or maybe you're both on the couch, supposedly together, but they're just gone, lost in an endless scroll. If any of that sounds painfully familiar, trust me, you are not the only one. And there's actually a name for it.
It's officially called technoference, but you probably know it by its more popular name, phubbing, a mashup of phone and snubbing. It's basically any time technology cuts into your quality time with your partner. So now that we can put a name to this whole thing, let's break down what we're going to cover.
Okay, so first up, we'll get into the so-called art of phubbing. Then we'll look at the daily toll technology really takes. We're going to explore why being ignored for a phone hurts so much. And then we'll get into the really juicy stuff, how your own personality and attachment style plays into all of this. We'll talk about finding your digital language. And finally, we'll wrap it all up by talking about the human connection at the heart of it all.
All right, section 1, the art of phubbing. Look, it's way more than just a quick peek at a notification, right? It's scrolling through Instagram during movie night, it's checking work emails at the dinner table. Heck, it's even just having the phone sitting face up between you, like this silent little barrier. So how big of a deal has this actually become?
Well, to really get a sense of technology's daily toll, we've got to look at the data. A 2019 study by researchers McDaniel and Drowan did a really deep dive. They had couples report in every single day for 2 weeks to see what the real-world day-to-day impact actually looks like. And wow, what they found was pretty telling. A solid majority, 56.1% of people, said that technoference, getting phubbed, happened at least 2 or 3 days and often more just in that 2-week span. So the main takeaway here, this isn't some rare one-off annoyance. For most couples, it's a regular part of life. And this is where you see a really clear domino effect. On the days when people reported more technoference, they also reported feeling worse about their relationship overall. They fought more, specifically about tech, they rated their face-to-face time as being less positive, and they even felt crummier in general, more anxious, angry, or sad. So yeah, this is way more than a minor irritation. It has real, measurable, negative effects. So that brings us right to section 3. Why does it hurt so bad? I mean, why does a simple glance at a screen from our partner feel like such a gut punch? Well, the answer is actually pretty fascinating, and it's rooted in psychology. Come on, we've all felt it. That little sting when your partner picks their phone over you, even if it's just for a second. It might seem like we're overreacting, but we're not. There are some really powerful social forces at work here. And this slide really breaks it down for us. There are 2 big theories that explain that feeling. The first one, symbolic interactionism, basically says that your partner turning to their phone is a powerful symbol. It symbolizes disconnection. It sends a message, loud and clear. This thing in my hand is more important than you are right now. Then there's expectancy violation theory. This one says that we all walk into a conversation with a basic expectation, that we'll have our partner's full attention. When they phub us, they shatter that expectation, and that violation is what triggers those feelings of being left out and makes us react negatively. Okay, so we've established that technoference is super common and that it really, really hurts. But now let's move into section 4 and throw a wrench in things. Is technology just a straight-up relationship killer? Or is it maybe a little more complicated than that? It's so easy to just paint technology as the big bad villain. But what if, and hear me out, what if for some people, certain kinds of tech could actually help a relationship? This is where our deep-seated personality, specifically our attachment style, really enters the picture. And to understand this, we're going to lean on a 2013 study by Mori and his colleagues that uses attachment theory. Now, the basic idea here is that our earliest relationships, usually with our parents, create a kind of blueprint, a template for how we do relationships as adults. And that blueprint shapes whether we feel safe and secure in our connections or not so much. So for what we're talking about, let's focus on 2 of these insecure styles. First, you have people high in attachment anxiety. They often have a deep fear of being abandoned and need a lot of reassurance. On the flip side, you have people high in attachment avoidance. They tend to get uncomfortable with too much closeness and really value their independence and emotional space. Now keep those 2 types in your head because what we're about to see is wild. Which brings us to Section 5, finding your digital language. Researchers looked at how people with these different styles actually use technology with their partners. And honestly, the results completely flip that simple tech is bad story on its head.
And check this out. For people high in anxiety, you know, the ones who need that constant reassurance, more frequent interaction on social media was actually linked to feeling more intimacy and support. Why? Well, think about it. Public displays like posting cute photos together can serve as the exact kind of concrete proof of commitment that they're craving. Now, the findings for avoidant people were just as mind-bending. For this group, the ones who like to keep their distance, more frequent texting was linked to greater relationship satisfaction. It seems like texting just hits that sweet spot. It's connection, but it's at a comfortable distance, without all the intense face-to-face stuff that can make them feel overwhelmed. But wait, that is not the whole story.
And this is where you really see how nuanced this is. For that very same group of highly avoidant people, more frequent emailing was linked to more conflict. Now, even though email is arguably even more distant, the researchers think their partners might see it as too cold or impersonal, creating a communication clash that just leads to fights. So the specific digital language you use, it matters a lot.
All of this leads us to our final section, the human connection. So what's the big takeaway here? How do we tie all of these seemingly contradictory ideas together? This quote from that 2013 study really just says it all. It's not about the technology itself. It's about whether a specific channel, texting, social media, whatever, is actually meeting the deep, underlying emotional needs of the person using it. So here's what this all means for you. Technology isn't just good or bad. It's a tool, and its impact is all about how we use it. That relationship blueprint we all have, our attachment style, is what's really driving the bus here. For an anxious person, a public Facebook post might feel like a huge declaration of love. For an avoidant person, a simple text might be the perfect amount of closeness. Learning to speak your partner's digital language could be the key to cutting down on conflict and actually building a stronger connection. And that leaves us with one last big question to think about in your own life. Is the tech you're using actually creating real, meaningful connection that works for both of you? Or is it just keeping you in the same room without really bringing you together? The answer to that? Well, it could change everything.